Am I the asshole for not removing sensitive books and making fun of my sister-in-law's education? I live with my fiance in a one-bedroom apartment. It's quite small and we don't have an office. We have a bedroom, living room, bathroom, and kitchen, plus a little balcony. That means that our books stand in the bookshelves in the living room. My fiance is a historian, a proper historian. He has a degree and works at university teaching classes. His field of expertise is Germany from 1930 to 1960. That obviously includes the most infamous person of that time in the book that he wrote while imprisoned. We have those books. It's two massive books that are heavily noted and contextualized historically, as you cannot buy the thing as is anywhere. It also says so in the title. Besides that, we don't have any souvenirs from that time. We have a lot of other books, articles, etc. laying around. So on Friday, we had my brother and his girlfriend over. It got too late and we invited them to stay on our couch. The next morning, the girlfriend was in a horrible mood, refused to talk to us, and made my brother leave after coffee. And then on Sunday, my brother calls me to talk and confronts me with the books that they found. He said it was highly inappropriate. Those books don't belong in a household and that we needed to put them away when guests came over. I was just puzzled because my whole family knew what my fiance did. He then said I owe his girlfriend an apology, and he wanted me to show him how we deal with my fiance's issue. I just told him this was all very ironic, and this might be where I'm the asshole. I said that it was not my fault his girlfriend couldn't read, because if she did, she would have read on the covers that it was a critical view on the manuscript of blank, that this was outrageous and childish, and he could call me when both of them grew up. Since then, my mother has been hounding me, but my father thinks it's hilarious. Am I the asshole? Edit. I didn't write the title of the book as I didn't want the post to be removed. AFAIK, his girlfriend is not belonging to a group directly victimized at that time. My brother knows what my fiance does. My mother is not a narcissist. Okay. I'm a little confused because I don't know. Oh, sorry. I'm assuming that's like, I don't know. Is that like it's not a cuss word to say? Like, would that be bad to say on this Reddit? I'm like, am I allowed to say it? Like, Hitler? Because that's obviously who this is about, right? Or am I stupid? I mean, I feel like not having books about this kind of stuff would be erasing that. And it did happen. We can't just take it away. It's like, it's giving Donald Trump removing all the slavery signs, like I don't even remember where he did that, like everywhere, pretty much. And all the stuff off like the White House website and stuff. That's what it's giving. It's like, no, we can't erase history. It's not like he had it's not like he had a sign that said like, he loves him, the H word. Okay, someone said, I can't blame anyone for being unsettled by those books. Their very existence is wrong, but if we ignore their existence, we're asking to repeat the errors of early generations. The fact that your brother and his girlfriend totally missed the fact that your fiance is a historian just shows that they're either daft or looking for a fight. Also, I'm guessing that these books are not exactly prominently displayed and are shelved among loads of other historical texts. Not the asshole, but your brother is. Is he your mom's golden child? That would explain her reaction. Opie said not prominently displayed, but they are hard to overlook because they're massive, tall, and thick books. So I see where the hard not to see part comes from. But in my humble opinion, it's also stupid. I don't know about golden children. Right. Obviously, it's so terrible that happened, and it's so terrible. Like, all of it's terrible, but it's like, it did happen, though. So, like, are you going to just, like, throw all the books away? No. This person said, ha ha ha. I'm currently reading that book. It's an absolute crock of shite, isn't it? But instructive. People should read more stuff they disagree with. Then at least they're informed about it and can rebuff it. When you recall that Europe was destroyed largely because of the delusions and persuasions of that one person, it becomes worth learning from history instead of repeating it. There are still people out there with the same beliefs, not the asshole. Guys, what's the book? Can you please tell me? And I agree. I think that you should read stuff that you disagree with. That's why I always listen to red pill stuff that I obviously don't agree with. And no matter how much I listen to, I would never agree with it, which is honestly crazy to me that people like genuinely agree with that kind of stuff, because some of the stuff that some of the stuff that these people say, it's like, how do you get people under your spell to actually like follow and believe what you're saying and like genuinely be like, yeah, that's good. That's good stuff right there. Like, I was just listening to an Andrew Tate interview, which God bless my soul for that. And it was just like so embarrassing. Like, he was speaking like a 7-year-old, and it was just like, he was like, I'm top G because I'm the top G. It's like, bro, you're not top shit. You're not top anything. You're so embarrassing, and you act like you know everything when in retrospect, you're a literal scammer. And wait, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. SO, a criminal, allegedly. I don't want to get sued, actually. I'm kind of scared. He won't watch this, right? He's not fucking watching. But, like, it's so crazy to me. Okay, this person said it's really not a good book, not in any shape or form, lol. It is very important to know about these things. The rhetoric used back then is being used in today's world a lot, and people don't see it. And ain't that right? Ain't that right? Someone said, my only thing would be if children or impressionable people go inside the house, and then it would become an issue. As well as the girlfriend could have something unknown. Maybe someone in her family was sent to the camps or something like that, and so she made the mistake of not seeing the cover and triggered that memory. Or she now assumes you guys believe in the book and don't see its context. I think the boyfriend is probably most responsible for not telling her beforehand. Okay, but if you know that this person is a historian, why are you thinking that they believe in this book? Like, I wouldn't think anything. I think that, yeah, if I went in this house and it was like just, they randomly had all of this, like, I'm trying to, no, it's, I don't think I would. If people were reading these books, I don't think I would be like, oh, they definitely agree with that, or they definitely, like, support that. I don't think I would think that. Not that it's her fault for thinking that, but, like, I don't know. Help. OP said it literally says that it is a critical view in the book and has more than 3,500 annotations and contextualized historically. OP explains more on the book not being available in Germany. Not here, it was illegal, and the rights were bought by a university. If you want a hard copy, you have to buy the annotated version, which we have a special edition from the University of Munich. Also, I'm not a historian, he is. Okay, this person said copyright expired in 2016. Likewise, owning and selling the old historical versions is legal. German version is also on the Internet Archive. I just looked it up. I mean, whatever. It is just that book is far from impossible to get. Okay, can we look up what book this is? Okay, so it's his, manifesto? Mein Kampf. It's means my struggle. It's the best known and most popular text ever published with over 12 million copies sold from 1925 to 1945. He wrote it in prison where he was serving a sentence for a failed coup he attempted. It helped to prepare one of the biggest crimes ever committed on a worldwide scale. Wait. So he wrote this in prison in 1924. This book is part autobiography and part political manifesto, outlining the hateful ideology and racist ideas that fueled the Holocaust and World War II. After World War II, the Allied forces handed the copyright to the German state of Bavaria, which refused to allow it to be printed or published in Germany for 70 years. It was not illegal to own or sell old copies, but producing new uncommented versions was restricted. Interesting. So what? He like put this book out and then people read this book and like took it and like got inspired by it, and then that's what made this happen? Okay. Oh my God. Wow, this is crazy. Oh my God, that's so crazy. The way that I'm like so uninformed, like obviously I know, but I didn't know that like this book was a huge. Is that like terribly stupid of me? Obviously I know about the history, but like I didn't know that this book was like, I thought that he just kind of, I actually don't know how I thought that he started spreading all of that like ideology and stuff, but I guess this is a big reason. OP said yes, but you still cannot buy the book itself. If you look for it, it's always an annotated version of the book. You can technically find it in flea markets as it used to be given out at weddings. Weddings? Someone said, whoa, why was it given out at weddings? Just curious. OP said it was given out by the governmental agency when getting married as a gift. It was a special edition and all. I mean, overall, it was a compulsory lecture in that time. What the hell? Don't give that out at my fucking wedding, bro. Okay, this is 6 months later. An update. A few months ago, my sister-in-law and I had a massive falling out that stemmed from an incident in my home. To make a long story short, my fiance is a historian with a focus on Germany during the 1930s to 1960s. During a visit, sister-in-law saw some of his academic books and freaked out, accusing him of being sympathetic to an ideology that I find absolutely repugnant. Specifically, she implied he was a N-word sympathizer. She even went so far as to tell some of my family members that my fiance was an N-word. N-A-Z-I. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Okay, sorry. Needless to say, this caused a lot of drama within the family. I confronted her about it, expecting an apology, but instead she doubled down and refused to back off her ridiculous claim. Since then, she hasn't reached out to apologize or make amends. My brother knows about all of this, and while he hasn't directly taken sides, he hasn't done anything to rein her in either. Now, I'm organizing a big event that's really important to my fiance and me. It's a formal event, and we've been careful about who we're inviting, given everything that happened. I decided not to invite my brother or sister-in-law. I just didn't want that kind of negativity or drama at such an important occasion. Recently, my brother and sister-in-law found out that they weren't invited and confronted me about it. They followed me into a cafe where I was having coffee with a friend and tried to make a scene. They accused me of tearing the family apart and said that I was being unfair and vindictive. I lost my temper and told them loudly that they weren't welcome at the event because sister-in-law slandered my fiance and hasn't even tried to make things right. I said that until she retracts what she said and apologizes, they're not a part of our lives. People in the cafe were definitely staring, but I was too angry to care. After the blow-up, my mom called and said I was out of line and should have just invited them to avoid this whole mess. She's siding with my brother, saying that I'm making a big deal out of something that could be resolved if I just let it go. My dad, on the other hand, is furious with my mom for not standing up for me and my fiance and thinks I did the right thing by cutting them out of the event. Now I'm wondering if I went too far by blowing up at them in public and whether I should have handled this differently. Am I the asshole? I mean, I think that is pretty big claims to be making to your family and spreading about your fiance. That's wild to say, especially when she knows that's not the case. It's just so weird to me that she went and did all of that. Just like, it's really weird. This person said, being accused of being an N word isn't something you let go of. Either they know they're wrong and refuse to apologize, or they're fine willingly associating with N words. So which is it? Because either way, not a good look. Not the asshole. And she's either ridiculously stupid or a divisive, lying drama queen. A professor of history who has history books about their specialty time period is not the same as supporting those views. Either she knows better and is just trying to stir up drama, or she needs to constantly be shown a video on how to breathe so she doesn't forget. If she visits a doctor's house, does she think that they're pro-bubonic plague? Sorry, that's funny as fuck. You are pro-bubonic plague, girl. I do get why that book would be destroyed, because you don't want to get that in the hand. Because at the end of the day, there are people that are destroyed. Did I say it was destroyed? It was banned, and it's not. You can't really find it unless it's commentated or whatever, because people will get their hands on that book. Weird people, and people that because of course there's still people out there that believe these things, which, in my brain, I can't conceptualize. I genuinely just can't even wrap my head around that. It's really, really crazy to me to even begin to understand how people exist like that. It's I don't know what's wrong with your brain, if you even have one. But I'm interested in history, and I think that would be, as terrible as the book probably is, I've never read it, it would still be, especially if that's your literal job, it would be something that you would want to educate yourself on, because that's a big, big, big factor of the Holocaust. The top comment says, if you track someone down to a cafe and publicly confront them, you're rolling the dice and taking your chances. Doubly so for complete and utter idiots. If you start something in public, you better be prepared for very public consequences. Someone said also, did I read correctly that they're in Germany? Maybe I totally misunderstood something, but calling someone an N-word in Germany is a huge effing deal. I'm a Jew whose great-grandmother was a Holocaust survivor, and I have a copy of Mein Kampf in my house. I also have copies of other extremely controversial books because I wanted to write in them as I read them. I wouldn't think twice about a historian owning books like that. Honestly, WTF is wrong with the mom here. Exactly this. I feel like the part about the fiance being a historian doesn't even matter. Nothing is wrong with having the books. Books can be for learning what not to do. Jeez. I know, I agree. It's I don't think that you reading that book makes you, even if you weren't a historian with a literal degree or like a focus in Germany 1930s, you still shouldn't be called that unless you are acting that way, then of course. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.